Hey, what's going on, you guys? Theo here with the big review, back yet again with another King of Fighters All-Star video, and today we are going to be taking a look at the new Valentine's Day SP Dungeon that opened up, as well as the exchange shop to coincide with its release, and we're also going to take a look at a couple of different topics going on in the King of Fighters universe that we weren't able to go over in the past 24 hours. But before we do all that, make sure you smash that like button and subscribe. Helps me out a ton as a new YouTuber. So let's go ahead and jump into it. Now, in a previous video, I had talked about these other difficulties on here, the normal and the hard mode, and we've talked about these in the past with any dungeon that is similar to this, which we've been getting quite a few lately, and it's kind of a mixed bag. Some people are okay with it, some people hate it, whatever the case may be, because of their AP or what have you, but yeah, I mean, it is what it is. But when it comes to this, now is the time for us to start throwing away all of our AP to try and get not only the stuff that is going to be on our rewards here, which are actually pretty good at this point. I'm pretty excited to get through this because I do need the gold hammers that are going to be in here. That's a pretty nice amount, 30 of them. So that'll get some work done on one stone, but yeah, overall, that is going to be your rewards. We've talked about this already, so I'm not going to go into it in detail again, but these are really good rewards that you just get for completing these missions and grinding, so definitely make sure that you at least grind through this. Now, as far as the exchange shop this time around, this is going to be the exchange shop, and you're going to see some decent rewards here. My focus would obviously be on the rare enhancement hammers and the capsules daily. So that is going to require a little bit of grinding on your part, because those hammers, for instance, are going to cost you 1,500 coins by themselves. And then you're looking here at your capsules, that's going to run you about 180 a day per color. So overall, if you're trying to pick up all the hammers and all the capsules, that's a nice chunk of change. So you're going to have to do some grinding on this thing. But when it comes to some of these other rewards, they're okay. This is actually a pretty interesting little mystery box because it not only has the generic imprint stones that we've talked about in the past, which for the most part anymore are mainly going to be relegated to usefulness for people who are kind of new or kind of intermediate, don't have the ability to get real far in the guild raid and take advantage of the different stones there. Because really these things are just outdated now. But the nice thing about this is going to be the fact that we actually now have these in here. So again, for people who are on a budget, these aren't going to be bad. In fact, actually, they've got these all mixed up, but there was one thing I wanted to point out in here for you guys. If you scroll down towards the bottom here, the power gauge ones are actually on here, and these are going to be the ones here that are going to give you the increase to the power charge rate. Now, at level 10, I believe that's 10% total that it gives you. So those are really nice if you are somebody who doesn't have the gold R stones, the more premium R stones. If you're, again, somebody who's new, intermediate, what have you. This is actually a nice little opportunity to pick some of these up, potentially. Now, obviously, there's a ton of them in here, and it's all going to depend on what dot you get. So, yeah, I mean, you're probably going to get most of these are going to be things you don't need, but it is nice that they have those in here as opposed to literally just these generic ones, which, again, not many people are a big fan of anymore. But yeah, so that's going to put you out a decent chunk of change. If you go ahead and take a look here, that's about 30,000 of these coins. So yeah, you're going to be going hard for these things if you want them. But overall, besides that, you can pick up these gold memory selection boxes if you want to as well. It looks like you're only able to pick up one a day, and it's 5,000 coins. I would probably pass. That's quite a few coins per day to be picking up one of those, but, you know, some people might need those if you don't pull a lot or things like that, and you need memories, and you can't just combine old ones, but yeah, that's up to you. I'm probably not going to be getting many of those. And as far as anything else in here, obviously the other hammers, pick these up daily as well if you have the remaining kind of coin to do so. But you're probably going to need to get grinding, put this guy on 99 runs on auto, and just let it go for a couple hours and come back, and then hopefully have at least a small bankroll to kind of float yourself on this. But yeah, this is definitely the time to start doing this thing. If you're new and don't know if you have any of these characters, which you should at least have the Kula, and you should have at least one of these other characters because of the super mission going on right now. Go ahead, use these characters on a team, probably just use the Kula like I've been doing, and then you can just kind of auto through it, hopefully, if your characters are built up enough, which you should have taken full advantage of the Kula event like we had talked about. If you're a beginner or an intermediate, you should now have at least an Awakening level 10 Kula at this rate. But yeah, that is going to be the dungeon this time around. It's not too bad. Really the biggest thing is your AP, which, for the most part, I'm okay on AP. I'm fine. I don't really need to worry about it. I know a lot of people are not in the same boat, but, it is what it is. There's plenty of options out there for you to get AP, so just make sure that you're buying those from, like, your exchange shops and things of that nature every day, and you'll be fine. So, yeah, the biggest thing is just having to put this stupid thing on auto, which we've talked about in the past, how to grind like a pro and things like that, but, really the biggest thing is, to me, just doing, like, your overnight 99 runs or whatever the case may be on auto and just letting it sit overnight while you're asleep and so on and so forth. That tends to be a nice way to get yourself a decent chunk of change for these types of things. But the only other thing about this is it's pretty long. Now, I do believe, if I look here, yeah, there's not as many missions per kind of chapter here, so it's not going to take as long as some of these other ones. Like, normal was just like pulling teeth. It was so many missions per chapter. But this one looks like it's 2 per, so, that's not going to be that bad. Looks like it's probably going to be, what is that, like 20 or so missions? Somewhere around there, give or take. So, yeah, that's going to be that for this time around, guys. Now, the other thing I wanted to talk about is kind of a follow-up to what we talked about yesterday a little bit with Mian. I have now gotten a lot of footage from different people who have her and been using her in things like, for instance, Lunatic Guild Raid. And as I had kind of talked about yesterday, nothing has changed. Looks like in Lunatic Guild Raid, she just isn't able to really get the job done. It is what it is, guys. I mean, she's not a typical user of a dot. She's not a Starlight user. She just happens to have Starlight damage on her kit. So, yeah, anybody that I have seen do runs on her in Lunatic Guild Raid, it just has not turned out good. It's been lackluster. But yeah, so again, not a bad character, just kind of average. Not anything really hype, to be honest with you guys. But I just wanted to follow that up because I do now have about 4 or 5 different clips that I've seen of runs for people in Lunatic Guild Raid with her that they've sent me, and it just isn't what you would want. So, rip. But overall, guys, that I think is going to cover the KOF Allstar news today. Let's go ahead and jump into some of this other KOF news, though, because it's pretty exciting stuff. So let's first take a look at the new physical editions by Pix'n'Love for the King of Fighters 2002 Unlimited match, because they are beautiful. So the other day we had talked about Pix'n'Love and some of the fantastic special editions that they do for these King of Fighters re-releases, and we had talked about the kind of ghost drop for King of Fighters 2002 Unlimited match on PS4 the other night, and I wanted to dive deeper into that because these physical editions dropped from Pix'n'Love for this game, and they are gorgeous. Now, I already talked about the fact that this is one of my favorite installments in the franchise, period. I love this game. I love the gameplay elements. I love the character roster. I love everything about this game. It has a really nice soundtrack, which most KOF games do, but, with these, they're always region-free, so you never have to worry about it, even though they ship from the UK. But if you take a look at these, I mean, they are just beautiful. Now, all 3 versions are scheduled to come out this summer. So when it comes to these 3 different versions, you're going to have your normal physical edition, you're going to have a collector's edition, and then a deluxe edition. And if you're not familiar with Pix'n'Love's products, the deluxe editions tend to be extremely low number and extremely expensive. So we're going to break them all down. But the nice thing is the regular physical edition, if you want that one's only $35, and again, it's region free. So if you're a baller on a budget or just on a budget and love this game, pick it up. But this is going to be your normal collector's edition, and you'll see it's $90. It comes in a shock case, which is really nice. They tend to do those for all these releases, but you'll see here, these are going to be the things you get with it. You're going to get the actual game, obviously. You're going to get the official Neo Geo box numbered at 1,800 copies. an 80-page art book showcasing design documents and illustrations. You're going to get an exclusive CD featuring 20 tracks from the game, and 6 two-sided lithographs featuring artwork from KOF 2002 Unlimited Match. And overall, the books are always nice quality, they're always top-notch. These shock cases are also always top-notch, and they actually look really nice on a shelf if you have a collection of these and can afford that. But overall, you get the soundtrack also, which this is looking like a nice little package for 90 bucks. You get a pretty good bang for your buck with this thing. Now, where it starts to get a little bit nutty is when you go to the next step up, the deluxe edition. If you do the Euro conversion here, is 305 USD. So I hope you're a fan, because if you're picking this up, you're going to need to be. Now, really the way that this one is going to differ is you can pretty much see it here. It's going to have different art for the shock case, and then you're going to have this tin sign that is going to have original art on it, basically. Now, it's pretty nice looking overall. It's a reproduction on aluminum, so, I mean, if you want it, it's nice looking, but for an extra couple $100, I do not think that's worth it. I'm just going to throw that out there. As much as I like it, it's not worth an extra $200. But overall, like I said, the normal edition's 35 USD, which you can't really complain about. The art for that one's gorgeous as well. All of these are beautiful. There's something there for everybody's kind of budget, so pick this up if you're a fan. They're currently up for pre-order on Pix and Love's website. I'll leave the link in the description. But let's go ahead and move on and talk about the newest KOF 15 trailer. For those of you who missed this trailer yesterday, I'm going to go ahead and let it play, and then we'll talk about it after the break. Enjoy.
Higashi. KOF 15. Shatter all expectations.
Alright, so, lot to take in there. This is a really nice trailer. So first thing that kind of hit me when I saw this is, it's looking like Joe is wearing the real bout kind of color scheme here. Look at the texture on that headband. Look at that. That's awesome. Yeah, so, a lot to see in this trailer. Like I said, first thing you see, there's a lot of Fatal Fury homages in here from what I can tell. And that makes sense, obviously. It's Joe Higashi, and for those who didn't watch my 5 Fests that I want to see in 2021 video, I like Joe, I'm a big fan, so overall happy to see him get a reveal. Now, the biggest talking point coming out of this trailer is obviously going to be, because we got the layout we did with the first team being Team Hero, with Meitenkun, Shuni, and then obviously Benimaru, people are going to wonder, okay, well, we just got Iori, so is Joe on a team with Iori? And that's the big talking point in the community right now. Nobody knows. Who knows? Iori could be on his own team. We don't know. But it would be really odd to see Joe step away from the Fatal Fury team and team up with Iori, of all people. It's going to be a lot of speculation until next week before we get some answers on this one. However, there are some things to talk about with this trailer outside of whose team is what, but with this, like I said, you have the kind of real bout throwback homage with the trunks, with the color scheme. If you did not catch it, the soundtrack is sounding like a remix from Fatal Fury, I believe 2, which is pretty cool. Somebody can let me know in the comments if I'm on track with that, because it's been a while since I played Fatal Fury 1 and 2, but that's kind of what I was getting out of that. Now, these graphics, if you check out the tornadoes especially, are beautiful. Now, again, people are going to have a love it or hate it with the 3D versus the 2D, but it's beautiful. One of the things you do notice in this trailer, though, is going to be, there's some skill cancels, it looks like, going on here, which we'll have to wait and see. It's tough to know what's going on in these, because it could be anything. It could just be a showcase of things. It could be hints at things. It's tough to break that down. However, it does almost look like there are skill cancels going on in this trailer as well. And if somebody in the comment section who is more versed in kind of breaking these down on a kind of moment-by-moment basis can let me know if they're seeing the same thing, because that's kind of what I'm seeing. But his skills are looking great. He is looking very clean overall. Everything about the graphics, whether you like 3D or not, definitely you have to admit at least this is good 3D graphics. Now, you look at the kind of the tornadoes and things, it looks like some of them are a little bit smaller than normal, but look at that graphics on those things though. Like, just the kind of rippling effect that goes on with the backgrounds and things, it's beautiful. So overall, pretty exciting. Now again, most people are going to be wondering whose team is what now. Who knows? At this point, Athena could be on the team with Iori and Joe. Who knows? They're definitely taking the shatter all expectations thing a little far, but that's going to be pretty much the video today, guys. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you smash that like button and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. You all take care. Peace.
Continue.